We need to agree that our world is not fair. People are generalized based on passport, ethnicity, religion, country they are from, and so many other characteristics. It used to be like that. Discriminated nations used to live with all those conditions. Spoiler, I'm against bullying Russians and any other nation just based on their origin or any other characteristics. This video is just thoughts and facts how our world is running, and made with idea to make world better and make you more kind to representatives of all kind of nations. Okay, back to our business. Nations who has authoritarian government mostly was locked inside in their countries and not getting permission to enter or move to any other democratic countries. Their desire of better life was just their problems, and if they reach to have such bad or even terroristic government, it's up to them if they want to change anything. Nobody need to bother about their problems, and actually world just need to distance from them. Until Russia invaded Ukraine. Russian citizens who before were very welcomed anywhere in the world now became the representatives of the country which sponsored terrorism. Country which in 21st century invade another independent state like barbarians, raping, killing civilians, stealing toilets, training suits from apartments, shelling houses of civilians, hospitals, historic and cultural buildings. A style of golden horde that nobody could imagine that it could happen nowadays. Let's look at the latest examples which we remember. The Syrians. They, by the way, didn't invade anybody. They at all suffered from their own government. They was killed and bombed by their own government with the help of Russia, by the way. And they immediately got banned to enter so many countries, even if they had visas, their visas was cancelled, residence card and so on. And they was left to deal alone with their problems just because nobody want to engage into such things. But can the world deal with Russians in the same way? Everyone will agree that no, of course, because people is one thing and their politicians is totally another thing. And here we start hearing that majority of Russians, they don't support killing people, and this is why they're good. If nowadays we drop from the caring about environment, from gender identity, I don't know, so many ideas to the level that the person who don't want to kill somebody, he's already considered a good by default, I guess there is something wrong with our society. Because to not have desires to kill somebody, this is very normal. Yeah, actually, if person want to go and kill somebody, this person should be considered some kind of mental sick, and such person should be for sure isolated from society. But if average person of or average citizen of the country don't want to go and invade somebody, this shouldn't be seen as an achievement. It shouldn't be seen that this is the reason that, wow, see, these people, they are good, they don't support killing. I cannot consider them in the category of good citizens. Yes, they're not bad, maybe, but they're not doing anything. Okay, many people can say that Russians cannot do anything. They can be judged to prison, they can be killed, their government do not allow them protest. But you know, I'm thinking, Russia nowadays is 143 millions of people. I cannot believe that if 143, okay, let's 100 million people is against the government, they totally not just not care, they are actively not supporting what the government is doing, they don't like what the government is doing with their country. I guess they have all opportunity to change it. You know how much army or how much special forces you can put against 143 million of people. This is a huge amount. So that means that while it's not really, they are not able to stop their government or tell their government something, it means that majority is just supporting actively or passively actions which their government is doing. And such people, for me, is not in the category of good, nice representatives of their nation. Again, I'm saying I'm not blaming them that they're not bad, but they are not somebody who can be considered good and seen like doing some achievement or he is a hero. Another point is Russian influencers and bloggers. Here I have a lot of things to say, and again, I'm not talking about anybody specifically, I'm not talking about any pseudonyms, I don't call you to not watch Russian bloggers. Majority of the world population do not know any Russian person personally, and the only way to know about simple people is to watch bloggers in YouTube or Instagram or other platforms, so their perspective, see how the average people thinking and how they see the things. Since war happened, you can notice that so many Russian bloggers appeared, especially for English audience, talking about life changes in Russia, saying bad words about Russian government, their disagreement with the war. You can see that they are very normal people, definitely does not deserve to be blamed in what Russian government is doing in Ukraine. Here is the one detail which I want to mention for you, and I believe that many people do not consider it and not thinking about it. If you're not living in authoritarian country, in dictatorship country, which is Russia, like for example, you most likely will never understand what is exactly freedom of speech and disagreement with the government. Yes, many US citizens who are mainly the viewers of such channels, they can normally go outside, tell any bad word about their president, their government, go on public protest, go write something in social media, go on the street, tell whatever you want, that the government is communistic, like sometimes people write me, the government is bad, they're thieves, they are corrupted, they're this and that. And even if you, same in Europe actually, so if you having some disagreement with the government and you want to go, for example, on public protest, you will never think that you may disappear after this protest at all. This thing is not in your mind even. If you are disagreeing with something, you can go say loudly and this is very fine. But guys, this is not the things in Russia, how the things in dictatorship countries is happening. Russia, along with Belarus, with Syria, with other countries of their alliance, they will never let you talk on public something that they don't want you to talk, and they don't want you to influence other people in this way. For example, if you are running a Telegram channel which is talking some things against government, and the government cannot control you. So there was Roman Protasevich, a journalist and founder of some Telegram channel in Belarus, and he was flying on the plane from Greece to Lithuania, and the plane was flying through the Belarusian territory, and he got intercepted by Belarusian fighter. The fighter was threatening the pilot to shut down this passenger plane if they will not land in the capital of Belarus, and the plane was totally in another side, and it was much more close to the destination than to Minsk, where they forced him to land. And once he landed, immediately you can notice there was 2 Russian agents who between passengers who took this guy and his also girlfriend and bring him to Belarusian authorities because they wasn't able to catch him outside. And this is how you can understand when the person is really speaking something that government don't want him to talk. Russia, as authoritarian country, has full influence on the media and what people deliver to public. They have dedicated department who are responsible for paid promotional campaigns between influencers. And this is mostly, you can notice even between Instagram bloggers, because there is so many Instagram blogger girls in Russia who is just publishing their pictures on bikini, on the beach, I'm on the party, I'm in the luxury car, you know, this kind of girls. And out of nothing, you will notice between their posts, they're talking about Russian army, union of our brother nations, a Russian weapon, and all kind of this Russian patriotism things, which is totally not matching at all the idea of their blogs, their videos, or their Instagram posts. You will notice between so many girls at the same time, somehow the same posts written somehow in the same way, the same language, the same things. So it's very clearly that they are funded from somewhere outside. So see, I'm YouTuber, for example, for 7 or now it's let's say kind of 8 years. My point of view was always very constant and consistent against Russia and their crimes which they are doing in Ukraine since 2014, once I started my channel. But only after full-scale invasion, after I start showing real facts, real crimes of Russia and Ukraine, my channel got a huge attack of Russian trolls and bots and other ways trying to take my videos down. So you can see, for example, now with 230,000 subscribers, before war I used to have something like 50,000 views, 100,000 views for videos, and now my videos has only 3,000-4,000 views. At the same time, while Russian bloggers of the same audience, they have way more views of their subscribers. Why it's so? Am I such boring to the level that out of 230,000 subscribers, only 3,000 want to watch my videos? Am I totally delivering such stupid information that doesn't deserve to watch me? I believe that the reason is exactly the actions which is made in YouTube against me. So what I'm saying, that this is just the things what I see, that every video where I'm talking anything about Russia is getting reported so many times that YouTube is not just automatically reviewing it, but manually, and it's writing to me that we manually reviewed your video and they removed a lot of videos, they make a lot of videos not appropriate for majority of people to watch. But many people, because it's every video since war started is manually reviewed. Imagine such kind of scale of the complaints on the channel. And I don't think that I'm really revealing some kind of facts, because I'm taking it somehow from media and I'm talking about something. I'm not the military correspondent who is in front line. So the monetization is taken down, the videos are taken down, they are all manually reviewed. I also have massive subscription and at the same time unsubscription from my channel, and I can see this from my statistic. It never happened before, and I cannot believe that this could be done by totally separate people, that out of nothing, every time they are subscribing and unsubscribing in mass. This is very clear. There are some kind of bot attacks on the channel exactly to make it less visible for everybody. So once I see Russian bloggers with the same audience, which is staying and residing in Russia inside, and they're talking against their government, they're talking against economical situation, they're talking against war, calling war as a war, and they are showing their president exactly in the bad light, I hardly believe that their channel has no influence even compared to my channel, because they are sitting inside, you know, you are like in the cage with alligator and you are doing a lot of things against him, and it's hard for me to believe that they can go easily in, easy out of the country, do all these things totally without any questions from the government. And these things is not just my emotions, it's just my assumptions, like somebody can think. There is a lot of world media writing about the same fact, and this make me more thinking how those people are running their YouTube channels. For example, Russia made specific law how they can control internet. And here you can notice that this is from New York Times. Mr. Putin signed a law that effectively criminalizes any public opposition or independent news reporting about the war against Ukraine. The law could make it a crime to simply call a war, the Kremlin says in its special military operation on the social media or in news articles. Announcements that the law was coming had already pushed Russian independent media outlets to shut down in recent days. It wasn't immediately clear whether the law could apply to people inside Russia, such as foreign correspondents, for example, but another serial lawmaker said that the citizens of any country could be prosecuted under it. And the BBC, which has a large Russian language service in Moscow as well as English-speaking language bureau, they said they was halting its operations inside of the country. So again, I have just logical question, and maybe somebody can really prove me wrong, that if foreign medias, which has for sure so many lawyers behind them, and foreign correspondents who are not citizens of Russia, they actually suspended their activity in Russia due to this law and censorship regarding war and showing economical situation. And at the same time, you have the YouTuber who has all the bad words about the government, keep making videos, keep doing all what he did, and having no influence from the government. Maybe I am wrong. I would be very happy to know that it is so and Russia really has such freedom of the speech. But with all this information, even when the foreign media is afraid to talk in Russia, it makes me really think so much, are those bloggers are really with no influence from outside? You can say that yes, there are some bloggers who is very supportive in war, they are supporting Putin so much, and this is very obviously, and you can say that yes, these people for sure they are against Ukraine and they support all the policy. But such bloggers, they are targeting audience which is 100% radical. So normal people, normal citizens of another country, they will never watch such people because it's very clear that these people is so much crazy, they are brainwashed or whatever. So if you want to have influence on the audience from outside, which is not really sure that how the things is run exactly, but they know that what Russia is doing is for sure bad, you need to bring them bloggers who will tell them, yes, the Russians government, our government, what they're doing, this is very bad and we don't support it. And but you know, these things, that things, and they can influence their audience in a way or another to say that yes, you see, not all people is bad, and the sanctions, maybe we don't really need to impose them in this way, and see there is kids suffering because their dad go to kill Ukrainians in Ukraine, and now the kid is waiting for his dad and hoping that he will not return dead because he go to invade another country, and all these things. But it's not said in this way, you know, it's said in the way that, see, kids are suffering also, and yeah, we need to feel sorry now for Russian kids that their parents are going to kill our kids. What? But who is good Russian for me personally? This is probably proactive people who are proactively against Russian government. And yes, this is not easy, this is very dangerous, but there are special agents which is working in Russia and reporting the things to Ukrainian special forces to save lives of the people. They are worrying about attacks, they are worrying about Russian troops. Those people are for sure very great Russians. They are for sure not deserve to be like be bullied or something. You remember I was making video interview with the guy who didn't want to fight and he submit before to Ukrainians before he was at all sent to front line, for example. So this is the example of the person who proactively didn't want to fight, who proactively did some like actions to support Ukrainians in a way or another. And there is a lot, there is public figures, there is who is very actively against the things. But for example, normal population who is not caring, or who is silently not caring or caring, but they are silent, they don't want to have any influence, and they go out for a smoke to wait until the things will sort out with any result while they are not affected. This is not in the category of good people for me. Okay guys, thanks that you watch all this video to the end. Please don't forget to press the like button, to share this video, because you see what they are doing with my channel. I really try to deliver you good, useful information, make you think about something, and let me write back your thoughts, because maybe you will change my opinion as well about many things. Thank you guys for watching this video. Bye bye.